Weight fluctuations. Hello, YouTube. Let's talk about the topic of the day. Also, welcome back to my sofa that I seem to film every single fucking video on. But hey, it is what it is. It's more of a podcast than a YouTube channel at this point, isn't it? I just sit and talk. I'm gonna have to make a gym episode soon, aren't I? Anyway, not the point right now. Let's talk about daily fluctuations. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that for the last 8 weeks or so, I've been posting my daily weight and like what the reasons might be behind it going up or down and that kind of stuff. The reasons are twofold. One, I need something to post on my stories, let's be honest, and let's be blunt about it, because I'm fucking terrible with them. But more importantly, I have to deal, by which I mean listen to people moan, about their weight fluctuating pretty much daily. Mostly from clients, because obviously they're the ones who talk to me about, like, you know, they track the weight and then, you know, they're connected to me in that regard. But also just people in general, because they don't understand how it works, so they just kind of freak out. There's only so many times I can say the same thing over and over again to the same person before I lose my shit. So hopefully this video helps. But also that's why I started doing the daily fluctuation, so that every single day they can see it's fucking normal. Because I swear, it's like, Michael, my weight is up by 600 grams from yesterday. Like, yeah, so? What's your point? Or like, even better, they go, I've done everything right yesterday, one day, yeah. I've done everything right yesterday, and my weight is the same. So, what's your fucking point? Like, expecting a huge weight drop every single day is fucking ridiculous. It's not how it works. When you consider everything that goes into what your number on a scale, which is arbitrary when it comes down to it, says, expecting it to be the same is just going steadily is a joke. Listen, between how much you eat, how many carbs you have, how many fats you have, because obviously it attaches glycogen and water to it, how much water you had, what kind of stress levels you're dealing with, how much sleep you got, what the quality of the sleep was, you know, the routine overall, was it the same? Are you going to the bed at the same time or not? Timings of meals, whether or not you had a shit, because from what I understand, regular people only go like once every 2 days sometimes, which is wild to me. But, you know, that plays a role. Could be a late dinner and no shit in the morning. It could be early dinner and huge shit in the morning. Like, there's so many things that play part on what the scale's gonna say, that people putting so much stock into it is just ridiculous. My weight went up by half a kg. So, tomorrow will drop by a kilo. Like, shut the fuck up. It's just irrelevant. That's why, and this is my personal beef with a lot of coaches who just go, oh, just give me the weight on the day of the check-in that morning and nothing else. That's fucking stupid. For all the reasons I just described. They could have a shit day, no pun intended, the weight went up, and they go, oh, well, we need to increase cardio. Even though the average has actually gone down, they just had a shitty day because they ate late that day, well, day before, and didn't have a shit in the morning. And now you're punishing them for no reason. And vice versa, you could have a best drop ever, but it was just one miraculous day after eating like an asshole for a week. And you go, oh, your weight dropped, no change, even though they clearly need one. So that's why I always go averages, like average per week. And there's still trends, like if I see it going down or like if I see it go up massively one day because they binged and then it drops for the whole the week, then, you know, oh, technically the average went up, but it's not really, is it? It was just a one-off. That's why I just started doing, like, look, I'm every single morning on my stories on Instagram, I just put my own weight and the changes from the day before and what was behind it and so on, so that people can see it's completely normal. And mind you, this is me we're talking about, okay? I eat the same things every day at the same time. I go to the toilet at the same time every day. I go to sleep every day at the same time. I wake up at the same time. I have the same water intake. I train at the same time. Like I have almost everything is exactly the same every single day. Okay, minus some things that you can't control, stress, that kind of shit. And still, my weight fluctuates quite a lot. Sometimes like a pound or two at a time. Sometimes more. So if I get these fluctuations, what hope do you have when you eat different things, you sleep at wildly different times, if at all, you then stress from work, well, we both have that. All of these things that I do every single day the same, you have wildly varied. So of course your weight's gonna be going all over the fucking place. Expecting otherwise is just retarded. It's not even just naive, it is retarded, straight up. So shut up and just keep going what you're doing. And then if there's a change needed at the end of the week, based on the average, that's where you go. But anyway, I digress, as I always do. Let's talk about the summary of what my thing has looked like, so you can tell. Obviously, I don't have it here because it's on my phone, which I'm recording with. But I'll put the screenshots of the whole thing next to me on the screen in the edits. Basically, in those 8 weeks, I've done 2 weeks, which was like the last leg of my cut. Then 4 weeks of reverse diet, where I'm trying to get back into like a regular, not diety way of eating, decreasing cardio expenditure, increasing food and so on without gaining fat. And then 2 weeks of a push phase or a bulk or whatever you want to call it. The trend overall during the cut was coming down. Even like the last couple of weeks have actually been quite rapid, funnily enough. So the trend is this way. It's just that, there is still this, sometimes like that. There's still fluctuations. I started like 194 in pounds or something like that, 3-4-ish. And then it ended at 89 some point something, like let's call it 190. So like 4 pounds difference, in 2 weeks, which is pretty good. But again, there were fluctuations there, 2 pounds at a time each day in whichever direction. One day, I was 193, the next day somehow I was 189, then it went up to 192, then 190, then 191. Like it's all over the place still. And that's the cut when I'm trying to actively lose weight. Now imagine the maintenance. It goes up even more. Like the fluctuations are wild. Granted, there's some socials in there, so it goes more after those. You'll see like some big spikes. Those usually like when I ate like an asshole the day before. And when you take it week by week, my check-ins are on Thursdays, with my coach. You might look like Thursday and Thursday, they're both 190. But during the week, after, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it goes up to like 193. Not because I'm eating like an asshole, it's just, I move a bit less, that kind of stuff. And then for the rest of the week, it's dropping down and lands back on 190. Technically, on average, it went up, but like week to week, it's the same. Because I've maintained it was just like, my body being introduced to more carbs, usually because we introduce more food, say after the check-in. So it reacts, suddenly there's more glycogen and everything. So there's water to it. So my weight goes up and then it kind of levels out again. And then any other week, I'm the same. The reverse part is always really tricky for everyone because, there's this psychological battle because you're always hungry no matter what. And you're like, why am I doing this? My body's not even changing or it's getting slightly worse. All this effort for all of that, and then you binge and then you get fat. But provided you can avoid that, you'll see the weight going all over the place because of what I just described, the adaptations to the changes and everything. And you have to hold course. You have to not overcorrect. You have to not decrease your food because you've seen 3 pounds up. You have to not increase the cardio. You have to not increase the food because the weight went down a little bit. So you're like, I can get away with it. It's mentally challenging and physically because you're always hungry and you're still tired. Because I can do this relatively quickly because I've been at it so many times, so my body adapts really well and I know roughly what my maintenance is, so it's quite a lot easier for me at this stage. But keep in mind, this is like my year 17, so just keep that in mind. So if you're doing this for the first time or even the first 5, it's not going to be as easy. It's going to be a much longer process. Like the reverse is fucking, it can take 3 months. instead of 4 weeks. It depends. You always want to play it on the careful side a lot more than you do with anything else. Just like go slow and steady as hard as it is, because it pays off much, much better. If you just start eating shit, like you're still gonna be hungry, but because that never goes away during the reverse. Your body's just undergone a famine as far as it's concerned, and it wants the fat stores back, and it will do anything to make it so. So you have to be strong mentally and not allow it. But anyway, it was 4 weeks, and again, usually the week, it was the same pretty much every week. It stayed here, it went up with more food, then it went back down. Another check-in. We increased food, dropped cardio, went up, went back down, stayed roughly the same. And then at the end of the 4, I think there's a difference of like maybe a pound or 2 between the end of the cardio and the end of the reverse diet, which is pretty good. Like that's basically just filling out the muscles a bit more. Maybe there's a tiny bit of fat, because I've had a few socials throughout this month where I did behave naughtily. But then it's kind of piled up. As you know, I don't normally do shit and don't go anywhere. But because I've been so deep in the diet and so tired that I've been postponing, ignoring everyone until the diet was over. So now it kind of piled up all in these few weeks before Christmas that, I had like a day trip where I ate like an asshole. Then I had like another day trip. Then I had a dinner and another dinner. So it's like pretty much every week there's something. So it plays a part also in that increase, because obviously since my check-in is on Thursday and most of the socials are on a weekend, it also adds up on top of the glycogen shit. It's gone pretty well. Like again, it's just a couple of pounds overall, which is a really good starting place to start the bulk, which is the last 2 weeks of that data. And then again, it's nothing crazy. We're trying to stay as lean as possible. I'll talk about this in another video. What the game plan is on like what the bulk's gonna be like and stuff. That's gonna be in the next one. But yeah, we're just taking it, trying to stay as lean as possible, but without compromising growth. And we're gonna be doing that for the next few months, and then we'll see. Again, next video. So yeah, those 2 weeks, it was kind of just it was still a reverse diet-ish territory. It's just that I didn't have any more cardio to drop, so it was just increasing food, trying to put the weight up a bit, but like nothing insane. Like I doubt, if we're going pound a week, that's going to be rapid. So I imagine it might even be less. Probably a half, I don't know. I'm leaving a bit of a room for the Christmas, because I will be eating like an asshole for a few days, which means that I will gain some fat for sure. But it is what it is. Anyway, that's the summary. The point is, from point A, which is 2 weeks out of the end of the diet, and point B, which is 2 weeks after starting the bulk with 4 weeks of reversing in between, the weight's pretty much the same at the end of it. All right, I've lost for 2 weeks. I've lost like 4 pounds. Then I kind of maintained / gained like a pound or 2 during the reverse, and then now I'm gaining like a pound or 2 during the last couple of weeks of this bulk. So that basically lands me both on 194-ish, 3-4, something like that. 2 months with the same weight, right? But wildly different results. Like, if you're just looking at the scale, you're going to be like, what the fuck was even a point? I'm exactly the same weight. And, my weight hasn't changed in 2 months. That's a direct quote. No, the fuck it did. Like, I've lost fat, kept it off, and now I'm gaining muscle. Like, the structure is completely different. The composition of the body is completely different. At the end of the day, you're here for the physical changes. So the fact that the scale hasn't moved a bit in a month, even though you look different, is fucking irrelevant. Anyway, my Instagram voice just came out. But that's the point. That's what the daily fluctuations are about. That's how they work. Stop freaking out about the weight, okay? Especially if you're being coached by me specifically. Don't worry about it. You input it every single day and then forget about it. I deal with the data. I will tell you, oh, right, I can tell, right, this is being stagnant actually, so let's make a change. Or I can tell, right, you just behaved like a cunt for the last week, so let's not change anything, actually do what you're supposed to. Or there was the sleep or the stress. Like, I can tell the fucking difference. Okay? So I will tell you. So unless I do, shut up and keep going, to put it bluntly. So yeah, anyway, that's it for today. I've prepped for long enough. Next video, it's gonna be a life update. I'm gonna tell you what the plan is with like the fitness aspect, the training, bulk, that kind of stuff, how long it's gonna be for, plan for next year, that sort of stuff. Also, I'm gonna talk about like what the plans are in like / personal life kind of thing for the upcoming few months, because there's gonna be some changes happening. So yeah, stay tuned for that.